let's explore the resurrection in Luke chapter 24 from the Bible Project. What's up, guys? My name is Jermaine. Welcome back to my channel, The 91 Box. We're going to be looking at a video from the Bible Project titled The Resurrection of Jesus, Luke 24. And I'll have the full video in the link in the description box below. But we're gonna check out the resurrection. I want to see what they are talking about in this video so that we can get a better understanding of what happened with Jesus Christ in the first century. Let's go into the video.
So they arrested Jesus, and they had him accused before the Roman authorities of being a rebel king. He was handed over for execution, even though he was innocent. Then he was taken outside the city and put to death on false charges.
This brings us to the final section of the Gospel of Luke. There was a religious leader named Joseph who opposed Jesus' execution and then requested to be given his body so he could bury Jesus in a nearby tomb.
And then, a couple of days later, some women who had followed Jesus came to visit that tomb, and they found it open and empty.
Okay, so we see here that the tomb by a religious leader, they wanted Jesus in that tomb, placed there. I believe the tomb was purchased by Joseph of Arimathea. And then also the religious leaders at the time, the Sadducees and Pharisees, placed Roman guards at the tomb because Jesus said he would come back to life. So they just wanted to make sure that somebody was there so that the disciples wouldn't steal the body. But on the third day, the women came and the body wasn't there. If this was fake, if Jesus was a liar, then on the third day, people would still find his body. Let's continue.
And they encountered these mysterious figures telling them Jesus was alive from the dead. So they run away terrified. Nobody believes their report. I mean, he can't be alive. They all saw him die.
Now, just outside of Jerusalem, a pair of Jesus' followers were leaving the city, traveling on a road to a town called Emmaus, and they were sad and confused about everything that had happened.
Then Jesus shows up, walking alongside them, but they don't know it's him.
Yeah, that's weird. Why couldn't they recognize him?
Yeah, that's another thing. I thought the same thing too. Me and my friend a couple of years ago, we were going back and forth about this event, and I'm going to give two scenarios that I think could be possible of why they didn't recognize him. One, it could have been that they were so distraught that their minds wasn't even focused on recognizing him. They don't even think that he's going to come back to life. So like, okay, this is not Jesus. That's one possibility. The second possibility, where I think some people may disregard it, but as a Christian, I believe in the supernatural realm. The second possibility could be that Jesus Christ himself spiritually concealed his identity to where they could not recognize him. If you believe in the supernatural, you believe there are things beyond the physical realm, then it's not hard to believe that Jesus, being God, has the ability to spiritually hide himself. I think Alex O'Connor calls this the hiddenness of God. So that's not within, that's not within that's not outside the realm of possibility. So it could be emotional distraught, or it could be divine concealing. So that's why maybe they didn't recognize him. And if you read the text, if you read the four gospel accounts, let me know what kind of conclusion you come to in this case.
Yeah, it's an odd but really significant image for Luke. They're blind to Jesus for some reason. So Jesus asks them, "What are you guys talking about?"
And they begin to tell him about Jesus, a powerful prophet who they expected would rescue Israel, but was instead executed. Some women say he's alive, which is crazy. It's all too much. We're going home.
I'm going to highlight something. So it's said in here that, the Jews at the time believed that Jesus was going to rescue them. Rescue them from who? From Rome, the Roman occupation. So I want to highlight something. I'm going to provide a link to this historical information with Cornelius Tacitus, the Annals. So Christian scholars and apologists have provided these historical accounts of people talking about Christianity around the first century. Some claims that are made by modern skeptics, they would say that Christianity is a myth and it's not true. But this information says otherwise. Again, I'll provide the link for this in the description box below. So I'm going to read you an excerpt that I have highlighted that's written by Tacitus, who is a Roman historian. And it said, this is what he writes. I'm highlighting a portion of it. Consequently, to get rid of the report, Nero fastened the guilt and inflicted the most exquisite tortures of a class hated for their abominations. Talking about Christians, called Christians by the populace. Christus, probably Jesus Christ he's mentioning, from whom the name had its origin, suffered the extreme penalty during the reign of Tiberius at the hands of one of our procurators, Pontius Pilate. That's important. He's mentioned by Tacitus, and Tacitus is a historical figure. Tacitus is a historian, and no modern skeptics talks about Tacitus. They don't even they don't even really like bring this up. People who are uninformed don't know this. But let's go further. And a most mischievous superstition, thus checked for the moment, again broke out not only in Judea, the first source of the evil, but even in Rome, where all things hideous and shameful from every part of the world find their century and become popular. So right here you have it. Tacitus is mentioning about this religion, which they call an abomination. They don't say that it's not true. Okay, let me bring this up. Mischievous superstition. So for Romans, they believed in their Roman Greek gods. So they didn't have a belief in Christianity. So they believed there was a superstition. But they mentioned the name Christus. So they don't deny this figure that he didn't exist, but they don't believe in the way, that because that's what it was known as. It wasn't known as Christianity, it was known as the way. They think it's a superstition. So he doesn't believe in Christianity, but he doesn't say that this person didn't exist. They just think it's a superstition. And in the Bible, Pontius Pilate is mentioned, and people think the Bible is made up, but a Roman historian mentions their procurator, Pontius Pilate. So we have to ask this question. If a Roman historian writes about a figure that they believe to be a real person, does that mean that what's written in the Gospels is not reliable? If a historian is writing on historical accounts who's not a Christian, who's talking down about Christianity, then if he's not a Christian, he's writing about it, is it does that dismiss it as a myth? I want you guys to think about this. Really look into this for yourself. If you're not a Christian and you're still under the belief that this is made up by modern invention to control people, okay, cool, fine. That's the claim that you want to make. Look into this link that I'm providing. Read it for yourself. Find out if Cornelius Tacitus is a real person. See what the scholars say about this. Actual like modern historians. If you're going to judge Christianity unfairly, well, have that same standard across all other stories or historical accounts. Be fair in your judgment. That's all I'm asking. Guys, make sure you like this video, share with people you know, and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, so that's all I'm providing for this video. I just want you guys to sink your teeth into it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I want to hear your thoughts. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are you still under the belief that it's still a myth, or does this pique your interest? All right, I'm Jermaine, and I'm signing out. Peace.